Hello children, good morning. Welcome back to the English class after your Diwali break. Hope you all have enjoyed the Diwali vacation very nicely with your family and friends. Today we are going to start with a story from the supplementary reading The Friendly Mongoose. Here you can see some pictures. The picture shows the description of a story. This story is taken from the Panchtantra. What is Panchtantra? Panchtantra constitutes of combination of two words, Panch and Tantra. Panch means 5 and Tantra means to view. It is taken from the fables that were made in the 4th century AD. From this, an author named Vishnu Sharma wrote 84 stories that has been originally written in Sanskrit, and it has got many stories which has moral values. So children enjoy it because of the different characters like different people, different animals, and the description of many things which gives us a moral value. Okay, so this is the story of a friendly mongoose. Now, when it was originally made, the name was different, and day by day people made it into a different way, and they gave different titles. So here is one of the title, that is the loyal mongoose, or you can say the friendly mongoose. Now I'll narrate a story to you. I know you might have gone through this story, you might have read this story before also, but when you keep on reading, it develops your reading skills and you may learn something new when you read again and again. Okay, so once a farmer and his wife lived in a village with their small son. They loved him very much. They thought that they must have a pet. So the farmer said to his wife one day that when their son grows up, he will need a companion. So this pet will serve as a companion of their son. So his wife liked the idea. She welcomed the idea of her husband. But one evening, when the farmer brought with him a tiny mongoose, it was a baby mongoose. So he said his wife that it will soon grow fully and he'll be a good friend to their son. Now, when we think about pet, we think about a cat, we think about a dog, but mongoose, they are generally taken as wild, and people think that it is very dangerous to keep a mongoose as a pet. Though the child grew with the mongoose very nicely, but you know the tendency of human beings, they dislike certain animals. So as such, both the baby and the mongoose grew, and in 5 or 6 months the mongoose had grown into its full size, and it was a lovely animal. It had two black shining eyes and a bushy tail. Okay, do you remember which other animal has a bushy tail? A squirrel, a fox. So do the mongoose. Okay, so but the farmer's son was still a small baby in the cradle. What's a cradle? Where the babies sleep. Okay, and it was crying. Now, one day the farmer's wife wanted to go to the market. So she fed the baby and moved him a little to make him sleep. She picked up the basket to go to the market and asked her husband to keep an eye as the baby was sleeping. अब छोटे बच्चे हैं तो उनका ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. अभी कुछ काम है, अगर बाहर जाना है तो किसी को बोल के जाना पड़ता है. So she told her husband to look after the baby. Now she spoke that she don't like to leave her baby alone with the mongoose. Now see the human tendency here. Though the animal is there in the home, though it's playing with the baby, but see, at the back of the mind, the woman is thinking that it is not safe to keep the baby alone with the mongoose. She had the fear that the mongoose will kill her son. Okay, so the farmer told not to be afraid as the mongoose was a sweet as their own child. Now the farmer, he took good care of the mongoose and he thought of the mongoose as his own baby, and both of them were good friends. So he was least bothered. He was not tensed about the mongoose. Now the wife went to the market, and, and the farmer, as he had nothing to do at home, he also went to his fields. And the fields were not very far from the house, so he thought that baby is sleeping, I'll be back within no time. And on the way he also met his friends and got late. अब दोस्त मिल जाते हैं तो लेट हो जाता है ना. Now you can see in this picture a big snake and a mongoose. Now imagine what could have happened. Now it's a old tale that mongoose and snake both are great enemies. Now mongoose, as it was a good friend of the baby and it took good care of the child, so when it saw the snake it thought that now this snake will kill the baby and it will cause harm. So the mongoose and snake had a big fight and the mongoose killed the snake. Now this is one part of the coin. Now see the other part of the coin. Think of the mentality of the mother when she returns home. Here you can see that when she finished her shopping and came back home with a basket full of groceries, she saw that the mongoose was sitting outside and it was waiting for her. Now on seeing her, he ran to welcome her. Now this was usual, this was as customary, he used to do this every day. But the farmer's wife took one look at the mongoose and screamed. Scream means cried loudly because she saw blood. So the face and the paws of the mongoose were smeared with blood. Smeared means they were all covered with blood. Now what was the first thought that came in her mind? The mongoose has killed my child. So she thought that the mongoose has killed her baby. She was blinded by the fear inside her and she hit the mongoose with a heavy basket with full strength. After this, she ran inside to her child's cradle. Now she was worried about the child. She wanted to see what the mongoose had done to the child. But to her surprise, what she found inside? She found that the baby was asleep and a black snake was lying on the floor. Now, in a moment, she understood the whole story. What was the story? That there was a fight between the mongoose and the snake, and the mongoose was successful to kill the snake and save the baby. Now, what she did? She ran out looking for the mongoose. She realized her mistake and she started crying. अब पछताए होवत क्या जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत. What is the use of crying after the milk has spilled? So it was of no use. So she touched the mongoose who was lying dead. The farmer's wife who acted unthoughtfully in a panic. Now there are certain situations when we panic a lot. Panic means we think without, means we act before thinking we act, and when we act before thinking it is always unthoughtful. And so what happened? She was repenting, but it was too late. Now it was of no use. So what did you learn from the story? Now there are many morals of the story. Always there is not always one moral. When you read a story, you get to learn so many things. So one of the moral is that look before you leap. लीप मीन्स झुक जाना या कुछ करने के लिए कूद पड़ना. तो दिस मीन्स दैट यू नीड टू थिंक ट्वाइस और थ्राइस बिफोर डूइंग एनीथिंग. द स्मार्ट थिंकिंग इज वाइटल. वाइटल मीन्स इम्पॉर्टेंट. Why? Because it will help you to avoid various problems and also reduce the possibility of facing complex problems. So now if you don't want to get into problems, what you need to do is you need to act wisely, and for that you need to think before you act. तो कुछ भी करने से पहले सोच लेना चाहिए. जैसे कि हम मार्केट में जाते हैं, कुछ काम के लिए जाते हैं तो मास्क नहीं पहनते. We must wear mask because it is necessary, it is very compulsory. Why it is compulsory? For our safety. So whatever we do, we have to think before we do anything. Hope you like the story. So now enjoy reading the story. Take the supplementary text and read the story again, and if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Thank you. Have a nice day.